Imagine being so confident in your authority, only to uncover a secret that flips your world upside down. This is exactly what happened when a police officer decided to dig into a case he had no business touching. He thought he was in control, but no one would question him. But when he cracked open the file of a black man he believed was just another suspect, his face drained of color. Inside was a document he never expected to see, one that spelled out the end of his own career. His dismissal, the very proof that he had no right to be behind that desk, let alone investigating someone else. In that moment, everything changed. What was supposed to be a routine case turned into a shocking revelation. But how did that document end up there? And what happens next? Stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. The officer's hands trembled as he stared at the paper in front of him. His own name was printed in bold letters at the top, followed by the chilling words, ***, termination effective immediately. ***, his mind raced. How was this possible? He was still in uniform, still carrying out his duties, yet this document said otherwise. He glanced around the dimly lit office, suddenly feeling exposed. Had someone planted this file? Was this some kind of mistake? But deep down, he knew the truth. There was no mistake. This was official. His dismissal had been processed, and yet, here he was, breaking into a case that he had no legal right to access. Meanwhile, the man whose file he had just violated, he had a story of his own. One that could explain everything. But before the officer could even begin to connect the dots, a sound in the hallway made his heart stop. Someone was coming. The officer's pulse pounded in his ears as the footsteps in the hallway grew closer. He quickly shoved the document back into the file, but his mind was still reeling. If this was real, if he had truly been dismissed, then why was no one stopping him? Why had he still been allowed to wear the badge, carry gun, and work cases like nothing had changed? A cold sweat formed on his brow as the door handle rattled. He held his breath. The door never opened. The footsteps faded. He exhaled, but the relief was brief. He needed answers, and there was only one person who could give them, the man in the file. He scanned the pages, looking for an address. But the deeper he read, the more unsettling things became. This wasn't just any case. This man had filed complaints, official ones, against officers in the department, and one name kept appearing over and over again, his own. The officer's throat went dry as he flipped through the pages. Line after line, the accusations stared back at him: misconduct, abuse of power, unauthorized searches. Each complaint was officially documented, yet somehow he had never seen them before. How had this man, this supposed suspect, managed to pull together so much evidence against him? And why was none of it ever brought to his attention? A sinking feeling settled in his gut. Someone had been keeping this from him. Someone in the department. But why? He wasn't the type to ask questions, always following orders without hesitation. But now, it felt like he was the one being watched, manipulated. His fingers tightened around the file. He needed to find this man. He needed to know what else he had uncovered. But just as he reached for his keys, his office phone rang. Once, then twice. Then it stopped. A second later, his cell vibrated. Unknown caller. His heart pounded. Someone new. The officer hesitated, staring at his phone as it buzzed in his hand. His instincts told him not to answer, but something about the timing was too perfect, too intentional. He swiped a screen. Before he could speak, a voice on the other end whispered, ***, walk away. Now. ***. The line went dead. A chill crawled up his spine. This wasn't just about an unauthorized file search anymore. Someone was watching him, tracking his every move, and they wanted him to stop. But why? If his dismissal had already been processed, why not just let him go? Unless someone needed him to believe he was still part of the force. His grip on the phone tightened as a new thought hit him. What if this wasn't just about him? What if the man in the file wasn't just a victim, but a threat to something much bigger? And what if the real danger wasn't the case, but the people trying to bury it? The officer's mind raced. Every instinct told him to leave the file, walk away, pretend none of this ever happened. But he couldn't. He had to know the truth. He grabbed his keys and rushed out of the station, heading straight for the address listed in the file. The street was dark, quiet, too quiet. As he stepped out of his car, a shadow moved near the door of the small house. He reached for his badge, then stopped. He wasn't a cop anymore. He had no authority, no backup. But before he could turn back, the front door creaked open. The man from the file stood there, his eyes locked onto him. Asterisk, asterisk, took you long enough, asterisk, asterisk, he said, stepping aside. Inside, the walls were covered with photos, documents, proof of something much bigger than the officer's dismissal. Asterisk, asterisk, this wasn't just about one corrupt cop. This was about an entire system built on secrets, asterisk, asterisk, and now he was in too deep to turn back. The officer stepped inside, his pulse steady but his mind racing. The walls told a story, one of cover-ups, hidden reports, and names of officers he had once trusted, and at the center of it all was him. Not as a villain, but as a pawn in something far bigger than he'd realized. The man watched him closely. Asterisk, asterisk, you were never supposed to see that file, asterisk, asterisk, he said. Asterisk, asterisk, they kept you in the dark because they needed you to play along. But the moment you started asking questions, you became a problem. Asterisk, asterisk. Everything clicked into place. His sudden dismissal, the mysterious phone call, the warning to walk away. It was never about him. It was about protecting the system. And now he had a choice. Expose the truth and risk everything, or disappear like the others who got too close. He took one last look at the evidence, then exhaled. Asterisk, asterisk, tell me everything. Asterisk, asterisk.